In this tutorial, we're going to show you how to build these amazing affiliate websites. These can be used for not just only tech, but for any other affiliate platform. Also, it has a Figma file where we can edit and remove other things. You would learn how to promote your affiliate products with WooCommerce, where you'll be able to create a product and it would go to another website like this. Then also we could also show you how to use a blog to create or promote an affiliate product, where you create a blog and also you link it to the place that the product is. And lastly, we'll also talk about creating a redirect link. So for example, now we created this page and this page is supposed to take you to to the main page, but it's a redirect. So we're also going to show you how to redirect your affiliate product. So without wasting more time, let's get into it. How to install WordPress on Hostinger. So for the first thing you have to do is you have to buy the hosting. So once you get here, you can buy it from outside or you can buy it from inside when you create your account. So the next thing that you have to do is choose a particular plan. So ideally, I would always go for this because this gives you 3 websites and this is just almost the same price if you look at it on the long run. It's just few slightly, but if you don't have much, you can actually really start with this. There's no biggie, but ideally, I usually choose or go with this. So I'm going to select this and I'm going to select 12 months. Then you add your card. If you don't have your card, you can add your card to this, and that is not difficult. We can just click here and choose a different payment method. Because there's a payment method already here, I'm just going to click on make payment. So once payment is successful, you click on continue. So once you are done, you go back home so that everything would refresh. So like I said the last time, Hostinger can give you free domain. So once you buy it, you get a free domain. But because we already have a domain which was transferred to Hostinger, we already have it here. So if you want to transfer a domain, it's not very difficult. You can come down to domain transfer, then put in your domain. It's going to cost you $9, and there's a particular code your hosting provider would give to you. That is what they mean by an authorized code. Everybody that you are transferring from would understand that the code will be given to you, and that's all. So now, how do we install WordPress? So we come back to our home, then we come back to websites, then click on all websites. So now we are seeing premium hosting here. So now we need to add a website because there's no website added to it. So we're going to choose blank for now. Then you're going to select it. The ones selected, you click on next. So if you have a free domain, this is also where you put in your free domain. So it's going to ask us to select the nearest location. So but sometimes I just leave it because it's always usually recommended. So I just leave it there. Then I click on next. Then it's going to start initializing. So when you make a domain transfer, you will be asked to verify. So this is not much of a big problem, right? So at the end of the day, you have to wait for the SSL to install. Just allow 5 to 10 minutes of things to propagate before we go to the next step. So the next thing you have to do is to install WordPress. You come down to websites, automatically it comes here, install WordPress. So once you fill in all the information, all you just have to do is click next. Then everything here you check. I think everything is okay here. Then I think this one you can leave it. This is fair enough. Then click on install, and that's how you install WordPress on Hostinger. It's going to take you here where you can put in your username and it's going to put in your password. Once you log in, this is going to be your dashboard. So let's go to the next section. So welcome to your dashboard. The first thing I usually used to do is I'll come down here and turn off some certain things like this. So I usually leave this one here, then you can click on this so you have a cleaner dashboard. The next thing I usually used to do is I would go to settings. Then if you have a tagline, you can impute a tagline here. Then site icon, we're going to do this later on. Then you're going to come down to here and save. So you can change your date format if you want it. So this is going to be useful for blogs. Then you click on save changes. Then most important, you come to permalinks and make sure everything here is set properly, especially this. Make sure it's in post name. If it's not in post name, if it's somewhere else, just put it in post name. Then all you just have to do is click on save. But if it's already in post name, just leave it as it is, which is in post name here. So the next thing is going to be appearance. So when you come to appearance, we're going to be installing a new theme, and the thing that we're going to be installing is going to be Kadence. So you're going to come down to Kadence, then you're going to click on install. So once installed, you're going to click on activate. So once Kadence is activated, you're going to come down to Kadence here. Then you're going to go to starter templates. Then you're going to click on install starter templates. Then you select this. So once you select this, this is all for appearance. So the next thing is going to be installing a plugin. So to install a plugin, all you have to do is click on add plugin. If you click on add plugin, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to search the first plugin, which is Elementor. But instead of search, we're going to go to recommended because majority of the plugins that we need is here, or popular per se. We're going to install this. We're going to install WooCommerce because we're going to be using WooCommerce for something. We're going to install this for header and footer. So we're going to search a new one, which is Kadence. Then we're going to install it. So once all is installed, we're going to go to install plugins. Then the new ones we just installed, we're going to select them. Then we're going to bulk activate. Then click on apply. So Elementor would ask you this. Just skip the whole process. Then you're going to cancel this. Then you're going to come here and just exit to WordPress. Then you click on this. Then we are going to go back to all the plugins, and as you can see, everything has been activated. So the next thing is we have to customize our website. So in order to do that, we have to click on appearance, then customize. There are two ways to approach this. The first method is by clicking on the website and going to customize, while the second method is coming down here and click on customize. So both places will carry you to the same place, but I rather usually use the first one, which is using view sites. So yeah, so once you click on customize, what can you customize? The first thing that we can customize is colors. So if you come down to the color section, you can see all the colors here, and in our design, this is what we're going to be designing, like you've seen in the beginning. So we're going to pick the main colors from here. If I come down here and I'm going to select this, then I'm going to select this here, paste. So this is going to be my main. Then I'm going to select this. Then I can put this here. So we can have like, this is like a third color if you want. Okay. So we may not use this one at all. So the next one that we have is the other black. So we can actually use this as our text color, but we'll use the first black. Let me put it here. So we use the first black as our main text color here. Then this white would be more like, since the website is dark mode, not really dark mode per se, the landing page is dark mode, but the full website is not dark mode itself. So we're going to take this, we're going to replace it with this because this is more like subtle color. So we're going to replace it with this. Then for this background here, the light one, I'm going to take this. I'm going to put it here. So we can click on publish. So we can leave the background like a side background like this for now, or we can just use the white for it. So you don't need to change these at all. So you don't need to change this one. These ones are just for notice. So now the next things that we need to do is typography. So in our site, the main body fonts, if you come to the body, is Inter. So come down here and we're going to select Inter. Click on here. Then we're going to put the size at 14, and we're going to do minus. Let's put the 0 first, then the minus. If it's very stubborn, just do it like that. 0, 5. If it's not good to your taste, we can increase. I think this is too much. Let's do this 1. No, let's give it 3. I think 3 is very fair. So we give that, and we are going to go to the fonts. This is where we put in Inter. So Inter, I've recently started having a tighter Inter, right? So we can either use that to make it tight. Let's try to use that first. This is the tighter Inter, and with the tighter Inter, we can actually, let's remove this and let's see if it gives us exactly what we want. Yeah, so the tighter Inter work because Inter noticed that people were now using a tighter font, so that's why they shrink and brought Inter tight. So now for our header, we are going to use, we're going to check here and we're using space group text. So now that is our font. So we don't need to do anything here because I think the spacing is okay, and we're going to use it for that. So we click on publish, and I'm going to come down here to check if there is any button. So this button styles. So if you want to see how this button looks, we can click on this, right? So if we come to colors and come to base button, so we need to make, and yes, this is correct. We don't need to do anything for now for here. Well, let's just give it 14. Yeah. So I like to use the theme as my settings rather than, so it's not bad. Outline, I prefer my outline to be black rather than text black. Then and I have a subtle add overlay. I think this works way more better. Yeah. Okay. So on basic button, what did it use? Okay. White. This works. So this is our other colors that we are seeing here. So we click on publish. So the next thing is the header. So this is where we have the logo, right? So we're going to come down here to if there's anything that we want to change the color. And yes, we need to change the color of our header. So if you come to header and we come to, there's logo, there's the header itself. We have our header design. There is the logo, but let's come down to the header color itself. So we're going to pick the color of the header is the second color, which is this, right? So we're going to pick that. That's the second that color. We're going to pick this. That's the header. Then we're going to check for anything that we want. So we're going to now go back to the logo. Then we're going to choose only logo, right? And let's publish first. We're going to export the logo. So you tap on it, then click on export PNG. So we come back here, we click on select this, then click here. Then we click on select. Then we have our logo here. So we click on publish. So if you scroll down, there's what we call the site icon. You can select it here, and so site icon is what usually you are seeing Figma here. So that's what site icon is. So we're going to come back here and we're going to export that. Normally it's supposed to be in 5 by 5, but for now let's just ignore some certain rules. We come back here and we select it, open, let's keep cropping. So as you can see, it's here. That's just fine. So the next thing that we are going to do is we're going to go back to heading, design, check if everything is selected. We're going back to logo, check if everything is done. Then this logo, we're going to reduce it to like, let's check, that's too small, 150. I think this is fair enough. So now for web and mobile, there are some slight things that we would need to do. So for mobile, here on our menu, we would have to make some changes. So I'm going to come back to that in a while because we're going to go to menu very soon. So we check there's transparent header setting if you want to set all this, but we're not doing this in this video. So footer for now, we're going to leave footer for now. So we're going to go to, for general, the layout is, since we are going to be using Elementor uses 1440. So if we are wrong about that, we would still definitely have to come back here. So this is what they use, and if there's any settings that we need to touch here, that's only few settings we need to touch. So you have sidebar, image, and social links. If you have social links like Facebook and everything, this is where you have it here. Then we're going to come down to post and page. If you have any page stuff, so most pages usually have tags, so I usually deactivate that, right? Then if you come down here, I just feel all these are enabled because of some pages. So for any page that we don't want it, we are going to disable it from it. So we just leave it like the way they should for now. Then site identity is very important. So if you come down, before we go to site identity, we have to come down to menus to create our menu. So I'm going to create our menu from here. I'm going to call this main menu. Then I'm going to call this our primary menu. So remember, this is footer, this is mobile. If you want a mobile menu to be different from your primary menu, we're going to click on next. As you can see, it has created it. So we're going to create our menu. So it has created home and some other things. So we're just going to look at here, and we only have home, review, product, and contact. These are the key pages. Or you can have other pages, but this for now, for this video, these are the key pages. So we're going to write home. We're just going to add it. Review. We're going to add it. Check. Products. Products would serve as our shop. So I will show you how we're going to do that. So okay, wait, let's just add it first. Then we're going to have contacts. Then we add it here. So as you can see, they are here. So in order to adjust this and make sure the texts are correct, we're going to click on this button here. So when we click on this button here, this pops up. So we're going to drag this to the middle here, and we're going to change the color. So we're going to click on this to adjust the menu settings. Then we're going to click on this, and by default, you can see the color here. And we're going to make it, we're going to use this white because this is the white that we have in the website. Then on hover, they are green, and on active too, we're going to use this white. So now the next thing is we had a button and a search icon there. So we're going to have this. We're going to create a button. We're going to put it there, and we're going to click here, and we're going to put a search icon. So the search icon will drag it here to change the orientation. You're not seeing it, but when I click on this and change it to this, you can see it right now. And I think that's all for that. Right. So now for the button, we're just going to put sign in. If there's any URL to it, we're going to put it there. Now for the button is using the header fonts. So we're going to come to the button, and so that we don't edit it in every button. So this is some things we need to go back to. Then we're going to come back to color, and we're going to put button. So this is the primary button, and the fonts we're going to use space text for it. So all our button is going to make use of this. Yeah. Then we're going to make it a little bit thicker, right? So that's that. So now we're going to go back to our menu, and remember we can always shrink it. So if I click on this, I have to change the color for mobile. This is mobile. I'm going to set it. Then if I click on it, you can see that I have other things here. But if you notice, I did not have the menu here. So in order to do that, this is it. So let me show you the difference. If I switch to tablet, you see that thing is not there. If I switch to tablet, you can see that it has its own canvas. So this is a canvas. So if I click on this, I can add a button. So if I click on it again, you can see that the button is here. It says this is perfect. I like this font. I think I'm falling in love with this font. So we're going to click on sign in, and we're just going to put a link. Just put hash there just in case. I think for mobile, I think this is done. Our header is done. Then let's go back to desktop. Then we have this. Is there any? I don't think there's any concerns we have again for our header, right? So now, very important. The next thing that we have to do, if you go back here, we're going to go back to our site identity, and when it comes to site identity, no, not site identity. Sorry about that. We're going to come down to menu. That's the home page. We're going to click on static. Then for the home page, obviously we're going to choose home, right? Then for posts, we don't have post page, which is very important. Okay, for post page, we're going to use reviews. Yes, reviews is going to be our post page for reviews and every other thing. So this is what is going to be here. So product is going to be for our shop page. So now the next thing we need to look into, if you check our home page, it is misbehaving a little bit. So we're going to go back to page, then we are going to go back to page layout general, and we're going to put it on full width on box. You can put it in normal. We can still leave it in normal if you want. I think we should leave it in normal. Then so box is very important. Then publish. If you notice, there was some grayish stuff here, so that has been done. So now let's come down if we are missing anything. So to menu, we can still work on our footer later. So we are just trying to check everything, if everything is good here. So we check the widgets. We don't need anything in widgets, home settings, e-commerce. So WooCommerce, all these ones will come in later on. So this is how we set Kadence, and Kadence is going to be our primary color, text, and everything in order for us to build our site. So let's get to the next thing. So we're going to be building this landing page. In order to do this, the first thing we need to do is we're going to click on edit page. So once we click on edit page, we would come down to just check some few things. So we're going to disable this, and we're going to come down here and also disable this. So once this is disabled, you click on save. Since we're building with Elementor, we click on edit with Elementor. So this is Elementor builder. So we're going to click on this. So now Elementor has a new formats, like a new way of building, but we're not going to use this is a little bit new, and there's going to be a lot to go around it. And since they're still releasing things, we are going to leave that for now. So we're going to use what was existing before, and we're going to use this to build the website, the landing page. So the first thing is we need a container, right? So we're going to use this, and after we have a container, we are going to still come down here, and we're going to add 2 containers to it. Then we're going to duplicate this. Then we're going to select this, and we are going to come down here and click on here. So now the new Elementor style isn't far different, just that there are slight differences. Take for example this flex box. If we click on it and say we click on this, right, it's kind of similar in a way, as you can see, just that there's a little bit of difference with it. So you have to, all your styles are in one place, in respect to this one where the style is here, we have advanced here, so everything separated. So it's kind of interesting, kind of nice, but there's still a lot going on around. There are some things still missing, components and some other things, but it's something you can try on your free time, right? But for this lesson, we're going to use this. So looking at this, we have 2 sections in this section, but this one we're going to come to it with a background, which is this, right? Then we have the text here. So now the first thing we need to do is, I like using viewpoint, right? So viewpoint, you may ask what that is. That's the view height. So we're going to come here, that's minimum height, and we're going to use, so then this, we are going to now bring in our text here. Click on this, then we're going to add our text here. Sorry. So now once we are done with this, we need to add our background. So now for this background here, we're going to come here and we're going to export this in JPEG. So because of the file might be large, we're going to open this website, and we're going to click on this to open it. Then we're going to select this, reducing the size significantly. So this is how we reduce file size. They have their own plugin if you want to use it. So now the next thing is we're going to come down here, and we're going to go to background, and we're going to click on this. Then we are going to select the new section that was imported. So as you can see, this is it. So if you reduce this, you can see that it is perfect where we want it to be. Now if you click on this, if you notice, we have some slight difference, right? So we're going to adjust this later. So I used 1140 instead of I used 1440. So we're going to adjust this later on. So now the first thing we need to do is we need to, if you notice this text here, it's still carrying a different text instead of our main text. So Elementor has some certain settings that we need to do. So how do we go about that? So we're going to publish first, then we are going to click on this eye to see what we have. This looking, it's almost there, but we need to go to our dashboard, come down to Elementor. So once you select Elementor, it's going to bring this. You're going to cancel it. You don't need this. Then we're going to go to, now we are going to select default colors. It's going to be Elementor. So everything is going to be with Elementor. So then we're going to click on savings. Now once this is done, we can go back to our page and we can refresh. So as you can see, it's not showing here. So we're going to refresh our page. As you can see, our text here, the color has changed. So we are going to, because it's using from the theme settings, the color by default is black. So we're going to come down here, and you can see our colors are here already. We're going to select this color here. As you can see, our header text is what we want it to be. So now there is a little or slight problem. If you look at this, our design, if you notice, we have a different text from this. So now instead of using a header text, we are going to use a body text for this. So the reason being is so that we are able to edit. So if you come down here and check this, we would not be able to select what we want to edit, but with a body text we can do that. So there's a body text here, which is this. So we can select what color is going to go for where. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So now, first of all, I'm going to change the color, primary color. So text color, you click here and we're going to change it to white, right? Then we're going to come back here and copy our text, and we're going to come here and we're going to paste. So as you can see, it's there, right? So now the next thing we're going to do, we're going to increase the size. So we're going to come to here and let's give it 60 to see what is there. So 60 looks good. Then we are going to edit the typography and we are going to hold this space. So because we are manually doing some edits, so we are going to manually edit it. Then the width, we are going to give it 5, I think 600 would do the job, right? So now if you notice that there's a spacing between both texts, so what we are going to do is we're still going to click on this and we're going to increase height spacing. So I think this is fair enough, right? So we're going to look at this and like see what other settings we need to do. So as you can see here, this text is a different color. So we're going to take this color because we need this color where we are going, because we're not going to be setting it from here. So we're going to select this and we are going to click on this and click on color. I'm going to click on custom and I'm going to paste this here and click on OK. So as you can see, we have what we have here. But there's a slight difference. I think this font has like the spacing is a little bit closer than normal. So yes, we actually added some amount of spacing to it. So we are going to add some space, letter spacing. So you see what I mean by that. So we reduce the letter spacing a little bit. Yeah, that's it. So we have this here. So the next thing we are going to do is we are going to add another text. So let's just close this. We don't need these ones for now. So we'll create a different tutorial for that. So by default, the color is black. We're just going to change it to this one here because I think in this design it is this, but looking at it on web, I think I'll just stick to this as our color, right? So we can copy the text from here. So we don't need to change anything because this is coming from the theme. As you can see, the theme has made everything. Let me copy it again. So as you can see, we have it here. So as you can see, if you notice, it's somewhere at the top. So if you want to preview it, we can click on publish and we can click on the I button. And as you can see, this is what we have here. So now we can come down here and we can select center, make it be in the center, but I think that will be a problem. So what we might do is we might adjust the top padding. So we are going to do this, right? And we are going to adjust the top padding. So we're going to increase the top padding to position it where we feel like we want to position it, right? Then as for this as well, we are going to remove this. So we're going to give the right and left padding 20. So yes, we have this, and for the top we're going to give it let's give it 40 for now. So we're going to come back to adjust it if it's not what we want. So once we've done that, we are going to preview this, and to me this is I'm satisfied with what I am seeing here. So we're going to come back to this image right here, and we are going to select come in few seconds. So we're going to use contain. Let's see what contain does for us. Not contain. Let's use cover. So yes, we're going to use cover. So cover will cover everything. So the reason why is that there was spaces at the bottom. So now we have this. So looking at this, we have this website. So as we are here, I am just feeling not okay with this. So let's come to customize, right? And we are going to come to general settings. Sorry about that. General settings, layout, and it is 1. And I think this is 0. Yes, then we click on page. So once we publish and click on cancel, we have this. So this is looking much normal, right? So for example, now we have this, and I think we'll just increase this to, let's say, 65. Yes, 65, so that's it would enter here. Then we check this, everything looks exactly like we have it here. We're going to be introducing, should we reduce the text, because we kind of have the text a little bit thinner here. So let's see if we can go for that. Let's adjust the to 500. Let's see if we reduce it to 400. No, 500 sits at a very good position. So we have that there. So now the next is add to add button. So we come down here to add our button. So this is our button here. So to edit our button, we come down to this, and we come down to button color to this, and come down to this. Then the typography for our button is going to still use a space, and we're going to increase the weight to around 700. Yes. So what was written in our button? Browse reviews. So browse reviews, we're going to click on it there, and oh, the link, this is supposed to be the link, and the title, this. So now we need to have our arrow. What arrow did we use here? So we're going to come here and click on arrow, and I think we used something like this. So we're going to click on arrow and bring it to this other side. So now we have our button, but we need to have an hover state. So the hover state, meaning when you hover around it, we would need to create an hover state. So on hover, the background can be white and the text black. I think that would go a long way. So something like this. Yes, this is perfect. So last thing for the button is we are going to click on this, and we're going to come to style, and we're going to click on the button radius. That's the curves, because it's not curved. We're going to click on 0. So we need to remove the curves from the button. So we click on this. Seeing this, we check our design and check this to see if we are okay with everything. We check this. So why it's like this is because of our system screen is small. For larger screens, you would see everything on your desktop. So now we need to adjust this a little bit. So I feel the spacing, let's just give it like 20. So this is 20, and this is it. So later on, we're going to come to mobile optimization. So this is the first section. So now we have to face the second section, which is this. For the next section, what we are going, which is going to be this, we are going to be using an icon. No, not this. We're going to click on this. So this is going to be our model container. Then we're going to click on this. So here we are going to click on add, and we're going to search for icon, and we're going to use an icon box. So we're going to tap on it. So now we're going to go to the model container, and we are going to change the color. We're going to click on this, and we're going to click on this. So we're going to change the color quickly so we can see what we are doing. We're going to click on style, and we're going to come to icon. We're going to change the icon to this color, minimize this, and also change the icon. We're going to use the title, right? We're not using the subtext. So we're going to change this. So even if we are not using it, let's just do it just in case we don't know something's there and we need to remove it. So the first thing is we're going to clear this. We don't need this. So we're going to first of all create one first, then duplicate. So this is laptop. We're going to copy this, and we are going to paste, right? So it's right, all caps. So we're going to reduce the size. Then these, we've already created SUVs. So we're going to upload. I'm going to upload it one after the other. Luckily, as one. So I'm going to do this one behind the scene. So the one we need is this, then we're going to select it. So as you can see, they are quite big compared to what we have here. You could see that it's very small. So we're going to reduce this very well, and we're going to reduce it to, let's just say 10. Okay, this is spacing icon, and we're going to reduce, let's say 10, it's too small. 24 should be an average, exactly 24. Then the text itself, we're going to try to see 14 or 10 would work. Let's come down here and click on 14. Okay, this works better. Then why do I feel the laptop and their colors are different? Let's confirm that. Icon. Oh, okay. It's because of I uploaded it, so I can't change the icons from here. So we're just going to change the text. So I just noticed that I can't override that. So whatever color we have from the export, that's what we're going to use. So now the space in between. So now once we have one, all we just have to do is duplicate. So now in case you want to click put a link, because this needs to have links. So we're going to click here and you can put a link if you want it to go to anywhere. So if you hover around it, so we can have an hover color here. So when you come here, you can put it this, meaning if you hover around it, we can have it like that. So the first thing we need to do is we need to duplicate. So we're going to duplicate this. So let's duplicate 4 first. So once we duplicate 4, we come down to this place and we're going to click on this. So as you can see, we have our 4 laptops or 4 stuffs here. Then we click on center. As you can see, they are all centralized, right? So the next thing that we are going to do is we're going to change the label. So I'll change for 1, then I'm going to change the rest behind the scene. So I need to check what the next monitor keyboard. So I'm going to change 1, put you here. Why am I always clicking this? So click this, then we're going to look for monitor. So this is it. Add it, then change the wordings. So I'm going to do the rest behind the scene so you can get to see it. So once we are done with everything, if you notice this line looks thicker, like text looks thicker. So we're going to come to content and we're going to come to this, and that's the title content. And with the width, we're going to reduce the width to this. So now once I've done this, you might be wondering, oh, I have to do it for the rest. So all I just have to do is I'm just going to copy and I'm going to select each and every one of them. So once I select all of them, I right click and paste style. So as you can see, every other thing is done very well. So you may be asking, is this even mobile responsive? Yes, it is. So what we're going to do, if you screen on this, you can see that it's kind of mobile responsive. We can also make this, convert this into a grid and adjust it. But for now, let's just keep, when we come to mobile responsiveness, we would talk about that. So for this now, we have to just manually add our top. So for top, I can say we can go with 30, then bottom 30. You get, so it's not too, then we can come here and we can see everything on our side. So if the spacing is not enough, that we need to add more spacing, we can come down here and we can increase this. So if we want more spacing like this, so this is one way to give it more spacing. So we can click on publish and we come to our landing page, and as you can see, we have this. Yes, so the next section that we're going to be building is going to be this section. The next section is going to be this section. So what do we do? So as usual, we are going to create a container. So now this is going to be the mother container that will contain everything, right? So let's start with this first. So with this section, we're going to start with 2 containers. So this is the first one, then we're going to duplicate it, right? So the first container, we're going to put 2 containers inside. Don't worry, do not get confused. So we're going to duplicate it, right? This one is separate. So this one, so now how to make you understand, this container is actually going to be different from this. You understand? So the first thing we are going to do is this first container, we are going to click on it and we are going to align it like this. So once we are done with this, we are going to go to the mother container, right? And we are going to make it. So we're going to give some padding spacing to the top, which is we're going to do 80. Then the left and right, we're going to do 20, 20, and the bottom, we're going to do 18. So now the next thing we are going to do is we're going to add our text. That's our header text, which is this. We're going to come here and we're going to add heading text. Then we're going to give it a color so we can see what we are doing. And the next is we're going to add a body text. So we're going to first of all copy this. So we'll click here and replace the text. And we're going to get the review text as well. And we're going to paste. So then we also change the color as well. So once this is done, right, the next thing we're going to do is if you want to make sure, okay, if everything's okay, we can click on publish and we can actually see what we've done so far. So we can increase this to, let's say, 40. Let's do it 40. Yeah, that's fair enough. So now the distance between the two of them is kind of a little bit far. So what we can do is we can make this 10. I'll make this 10 first. So once you make it 10, you've seen the true distance is going to be from somewhere here. So if it doesn't reduce properly, we just give it 0 first, let's say. So this is a fair distance. So the next thing is we can duplicate this, right? Then we can take this button here. So we look at it, there's a button at this side, and we can paste the button. We can click here and click on paste, and it comes down here. So we can bring the button. To bring the button down, we're going to do something to that later on. I'm going to show you. We're going to do this for the button, and for the page, we are going to bring it to the bottom, to the end here. So I think this works. So now to get exactly this thing here, just text and this thing, we're going to select this and we are going to come here, and I think we're going to, this is padding, and we're going to give it 0. As you can see, there is nothing on the bottom. So the bottom, we're just going to give it this, and the text, we're just going to give it this. Then we'll do the same thing, because if you hover around here, you see this here. So if you hover, we would want it to still retain this color and will retain the white, which is this light white. So we have this. Then we get the text, which is view all. We're going to copy and we're going to replace this with view all. So we're going to publish to see if what we have is in line with exactly. So we have this and it is in line with what we have here. So now the next thing is that we're going to create in this section. So remember that we have this extra box we created from the very beginning. So now inside this extra box, we are going to have our containers inside. So we're going to come down here, drag a container, and I'm going to divide it into 3 places. Then I am going to position it like this. So as you can see, we have 3 different sections. So now the first section, we are going to add an image, and we're going to upload the first image. So now once we've uploaded the image as this first image, we're going to, the next thing is, let me zoom in. This is 2 stuff here. So now in order for us to get this, we would have to bring in a container. But before we bring in the container, I would like to have this inside already. So now things that we need inside that container are things like this. We'll tap here and you can paste. We need something like this, but we are going to position it to this very end. Then we may reduce the size, but I think the size is 14 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it's 14, it's still the same size, so it's 14. So we would have this. Then what else do we have here? We have text. So there's a reason why I'm bringing every other element inside first, so that we know what we have, right? Then you come here and you're going to remove you're going to put this. Then heading, just copy this. I think I still like this. Then paste. Even if it's big, we're going to reduce it, so let's just give it 18. I think 18 is better off. So we have that. And yes, there's a line here that is also there, so we're going to collect what we call divider. So we're going to add a divider. So you may not be seeing it, but let me get a color for it so that we may be seeing it a little bit. Yes, I'll reduce the color later on. Right, so let's use this. I think this is fair, but I would reduce it proper very well. So now we have this. So if you check very well, right, these particular items they're kind of shrinked more than the rest, right? So how do we achieve that? One way to achieve that is we are going to bring in two containers. So I didn't want to make it too confusing at first, so I'm going to duplicate these two containers. Then everything we have here, we're going to drag it inside, right? We're going to drag it inside. So now we have this container here, we have this container here. So now this container is going to be for these reviews that you are seeing here. So you might see that there are lots of containers or embedded section inside here for this small place here. So the next thing that we are going to do is we're going to add um, what we call, we can add reviews, we can use reviews, we can add icon, but let's use written. So we can have written there, it's just be there for now. Then we can add a text. Yes, so we need a text that will just have this. So we're just going to duplicate this, we're going to put it here. Don't worry, everything would soon look as it should. So first, let's deal with this image. So as you can see, this image on this looks like it is touching the edge of this container. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to the mother container of this place, and we are going to remove all the paddings. So as you see, as we remove the paddings, it's the image actually, touches both edges. So now, and we are going to so the container has a stroke, so we're going to copy the color of that stroke, and we're going to go to the mother container, we're going to go to styles, we're going to go to border, and we are going to click on border type, and we're going to click on solid. And once we click on solid, we are going to put one, and we're going to click here and click on paste. So if I click on this, I can click on this, and it's actually showing here. Let me preview so that you see what's going on. So as you can see, it is here already. So as you can see, almost everything is lining up to it. So the next thing we need to do, so if you're noticing this white, I'm just noticing that it's coming from the image, so you don't have to bother yourself. You can crop the image to make sure it doesn't show, but let's leave that for now. So the next thing that we need to do, right, is we need to first configure this. So I'm going to copy this, then I'm going to paste it. So you're wondering how am I going to, figure this out. So we are going to make sure this is going this way, right? And the spacing is not so much. So we give it 10 and make sure they are aligned very well in the middle. So both of them are actually in the middle. Then we are going to change the color of this to this, and change the icons from this. Then we're going to come to star and select this. So this is what we have. So as you can see, we publish, we have this, and if you check our design, same thing, we have that. So I'm going to copy this here, then I'm going to copy this information, then I'm going to paste the information here. So we have this information here. So if we come down to our site, we have almost everything looking as they should. So the next thing that we need to do is this one here. We're going to, edit this, and for this, let's just first of all collect this first, and we are going to edit it and paste. Let's read review. Then the color of this, we're going to get the real one and paste here. So paste here. So we publish again to see what we have. So we come down and see that almost everything is going as planned. But like I said, there is this thing that makes it looks like it's inside the whole thing. So can we achieve that? Yes, for sure we can achieve that. So as you can see, both of them have this like containers by themselves. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on 0. Then we are going to create, let's just say, let me try 50. I just hope it's not too much. The right hand side, let's see, 50. No, it's not supposed to be unism. I'm going to unlock this. We have 50, and the left hand side 50. So I think this looks okay. So we don't want to be tried for this. So we have this, and we have the right hand side 50, and we have the left hand side 50. So I think we can reduce it to around 25. I think that's fair. So we're going to come back here, and we're going to do the same thing, 25, 25. So now once we've done that, I think we need to give this a spacing. So we're going to come down here and the bottom, let's just give it 25. It gets the logic. So and preview. So as you can see, it is very, very clean. So now one thing that we need to do here is the spacing between these three here. I think it's very much. So we are going to come to our design here, and the spacing here, we are going to give 10. So 10 should do justice to that. So let's see what that looks like in our design. So yes, 10 makes it very clean. So I'm going to um edit this picture a little bit for some weird reasons. I don't know why it's giving that edge. Then before I edit it, if you notice, there is one thing that we are missing. This is this hardware, right? So now I'm asking how do we do? Why I didn't bother about it? It's not really part of this engine, guys. Here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take a button. That's going to be the easiest way to do it. So it's going to be in the image, inside the image. So now once we take the button, we would, I'm trying to see. So I think I get it. Should we use something like this? No, don't worry. Let's just use this. So we can use this. Then we come down here to buttons. We would click on, let me see, 12, right? I think that is fair enough. Then the background, we're not going to do anything hover because it's not an hover button. It's more like a label than than a button. So we're going to use white, and okay, no, we're going to use black. There's a reason why, and we are going to reduce the opacity. So like 50, around 50. No, you may not see it, but it's there. So now for us to see how it works here, we're going to raise it to the very top. Then I'm going to, if you were here, just go to advanced. Then when you come to advanced, you come to position. Then we're going to click on absolute. So as you can see, it's something we can play around, move around, get the whole logic. So now we are going to, I think it's almost where we want it. So we want it a little bit here. I think there's a space between, yes, a little bit there. Then we're going to bend it a little bit to, yes, I think that's fair enough. So as you can see now, we are able to edit it without any much stress. So going back to the background, we might have to increase it a little bit just to give it that dark effect. So now then we're going to increase the border radius to probably 100. So you may not be seeing it, but it is here. So I think we would thicken it a little bit. And yeah, going back to the button, we can put the padding at 20. Yes, so I think 10 is fair. Then we are going to add a solid stroke. We're just going to put it 1, and we're going to do this to it. We're going to give it this one here. So then the text that is here, hardware, copy. We're going to select it. We are going to paste the text here. So as you can see, it's hardware. Then we're going to change the text to space rock. So that's what we have there. Then we can publish to see what we've done. So looking at it, we have this here to say that okay, it is hardware, and the good thing is not the button. It doesn't click, it's nothing. It's just we're going to remove that hash from it, so it doesn't click anywhere. So if I click on this, go back to it, it shouldn't click. It's just an ordinary button. So as you can see, we've created this, and we're going to adjust the image and duplicate. So now if you notice, we created 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate, then delete, duplicate, then delete. So at this point, you already know how to edit the images and uh, change text on this. So we're going to do this behind the scene. So after creating the 3, I've published, and as you can see, we have this. So to create a little bit of let's say an illusion, right? We can create an hover state. So an hover state, we might have let's say white background. Let's okay, that's a smudge. Then we would reduce the opacity very well, so we are around here, so that when you highlight on it, it's just give you that subtle feel that there's something there. So once we've done that on that, we can just copy, select 2 of them, and paste. Hopefully it did not change every details on this. Let me see. Okay, it didn't change every details. So on hover, let's publish. So when someone hovers around them, there's this little bit of interaction within the stuff, so you can increase it very well to your own. So the next thing that we need to work on now is going to be this section. So as you can see, this section is a little bit not as complicated as the first one, but I would say a little bit tricky, but quite simple. So let's get into it. In order for us to build this, just like the way we did this, we are going to create a model container. So this model container would now contain 2 layers. Then we're going to divide it, duplicate it. So like I was saying, this is 1, this is 2. Then this first one, we are going to have this, right? So we can come down here to change the color of the background. We're going to come here, then we're going to click on this to change the color of the background. Then the first thing we need to do is we can get this, copy this, and actually paste it here. Then we can also copy this too. Doesn't have to be any of the main thing. Then we paste it here. So now, once we have done that, we copy the text, paste, then the body text, then we centralize them in the middle. So we click on publish so that we see what we are doing. So there's still a little bit of space between both of them. So we are going to actually do that. We're going to come here, then adjust that space. Just give it to 1 first. I think that solves it. So if you are feeling like, okay, this has to shrink, you can click on this, and let's see, we give this right. I want to try 100 first, left. It's not going to be enough. So 380, that is actually very okay with this. Then we're going to check our website to see if we have something. So that is it here. So now, once we have this, the next thing is for us to design this section. So if we zoom in a little bit, we can select this box here. Then I'll just show you how to remove things. So you can remove this because we need the shadow to also come along. So we'll just call this laptop. Then these two as well. So once separated, we're going to export them one after the other as JPEG. Going back to Elementor, we are going to bring in two boxes. So we're going to duplicate this and we are going to align them both sides. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring in the first image. So we bring in the image and we are going to click on add image. So as you notice, we have some little shenanigans going on here. So what we are going to do is we're going to create another extra container inside so you don't get confused, right? So why I'm going to put it there is that if you notice, this one are overlaying on top of the image, right? So I could have easily made this a background and put things inside. So the best is using an image, right? So we just bring in the image here. Then we're going to bring a container under the image. So we're going to bring a container like this. So this container would contain everything that we need. That's the header text, body text, and probably the button. So we are going to start with the header text. Let's just borrow the header text from here. And we are going to paste. Then the body text, copy, and we are going to paste. Let's take a real button because that one looks more like a real button. Then we're going to paste. So now after pasting everything here, we are going to put in the real thing. So we're going to copy this. Then we're going to go back here and we're going to copy this, paste this as well. Then we are going to use this by now. So let's publish and see what we got. Perfect. Then we can reduce the spacing between it. Then like around 10, so it doesn't look too weird. I think this is okay. So now once we've gotten this, you might be wondering, how do we now take it from at the bottom to where it is here? So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this here and we're going to come to advanced and we're going to come to position and we're going to click on absolute. So absolute will take it here. So to see what you are doing, it's going to be like it's hitting the edge of the whole thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to padding and we are going to give it like, let's use 20. And I think let's check 50. 50 is too much. I think this is fair. So we're going to do this. Then we are going to offset to bring it around here. I think this is fine. So we publish and we get to see everything. So there's something I want to test. In as much as we shrink it, it does not change its position. That's a very good thing. So I think we need to bring it down a little bit. We need to take it down a little bit. So we are going to take it a little bit down. Perfect there. I think this is a perfect position. Still didn't really look like it went down. So the button looks very big. So we're going to reduce the size of that button. It's looking very big. So we're going to click on it and we're going to go to style and we're going to go to this. And I think we're going to give it 12 to make it not too big. Yeah, we check our sites and I think this is good. Right. So the next thing is to do the other guys beside. So to do this other side, we are going to need two containers. So the reason why is if you check this, we have two separate things to make sure we don't have any issue, right? So the first thing we need to do is come down here, pick the first container, and we're going to duplicate this. So we have two containers here. So the first thing we're going to do is an image, as we did the other one. We're going to put in an image here. And what is this? This is a mouse. So we're going to select this. And this is the mouse, and we don't need any other thing than the text. So we're going to just copy. Okay, first we are going to copy this text, copy this, and here we're going to paste it. So now here we can attempt to use, let's try to use margin and see. Okay, no, I don't think I would use margin. Let's stick to absolute. I wanted to try margin for an example. So let's choose absolute. So now we are going to, we use what's here, 35. So we're going to still use the same thing. We're going to come here and 35, so that there will be unison in the whole thing. And distance between everything was okay. We may not have to use the same thing because they are from different angles. We're going to come down here and just use probably our eye gauge to, that's better. Let's copy and edit, put that there, publish, and let's see what we have here. Perfect. This is perfect. For me, this is perfect. So there's something we need to do, so that if you notice these lines are not, so once we are done with this, we are going to, click on this, and we're going to click on 0. So as you can see, it's now aligning with this. So what we just did was the spacing inside the box that this was inside. We put inside that box that we had section 1, section 2. Inside the section 2, we put in these two. So the section 2 box is what we removed padding from. So as you can see, so if you want to see where you right click and click on structure, if you want to see what you are doing, so let me just click on this. If I close this here, you can see the model container of these two. If I close this two here, you can see the model container of these two. So if I open it here, you can see it here that, okay, this is the first two containers that we created, right? So in case you want to make any settings to any of them. So now what me I'm going to do is I am going to duplicate this because this is already done properly. Then I'm going to duplicate. I'm going to delete this. Then I'm going to change the image to this. Then I'm going to create this and select this and paste this. So that being done, we can check to see what this looks like. So as you can see, there some little amount of spacing in between. So we can find a way around that. So if we click on structure, because I need to select the model container. This is the model container here. So we can reduce it by using 10. I don't know if 10 did the job. Right, let's see. I don't know if 10 did the job. 10 did the job. So as you can see, we have our inner space. So let's say we want to make the full body a link, right? So we can come down to this place here and let me make sure that we are selecting the right container. So this full body here, we would come to additional option. If you come to your container here and come down to additional option and click on a link automatically, so we will not place any link here. So as you see, do not add any element nested inside, any link inside. So this one would not have to be a link. So whatever link we need, we'll just place it here, and that's all. So whoever is hovering around it, right, would be able to, as you can see here, if they hover around it, they can click it here. This one you see is not clickable, this is not clickable. So that is how you go about making. I prefer it even the whole thing being clickable, because whether the person comes here, whether the person comes here, you can click this to go to the other page that you want to go to. So we are going to make this come back here, and we're going to give this top. I think there's already enough distance between this. Now be 40, then the bottom would be 80, then side by side 2020, 20, 20. So we're going to click on publish, and this is what we have. So the next section that we're going to be working on is going to be this section. So the very first thing we need to do is we need to duplicate this because it's almost the same thing that we have here. So we're going to just come here and duplicate. So I don't think I've duplicated. Okay, yeah, I think I've duplicated some stuff before. So we're going to duplicate this there, delete this. We don't need this. So once we've deleted this, it's just as simple as to copy and paste So sometimes it's actually quite nice to design your stuff in Figma to make it makes things easy, but it's stressful, first designing on Figma, but there's no restriction with that. So here, remember we stretched it a little bit. So we're going to loosen it up a little bit. So let's try 50. So this works. So now if you notice, we have an email box here and there is something at the back that has a glowy color. So this is the glowy effect. So there's this glowy effect at the back. So I'm going to export it as a PNG. Then once I export it as a PNG, I am going to come to the background, then come to style, then I'm going to come to background overlay, then I'm going to click on this, then I'm going to add, then I select this. You might not see it, so I am going to increase it to be very bright. Then I'm going to put it as cover, right? So cover covers it everywhere. So that is the green effect at the background. So as you can see, so we click on publish and see what we've done so far. So this is it here. So now in order for us to get this email that we are seeing here, we're going to install Fluent Form. So that's what I use for email sometimes. But if you have the Elementor Pro, you can actually use, if you come down to Elementor and you come down to Forms. So you can come down to Form, but it's locked in as Pro. So we're going to go back to our dashboard. When we go to our dashboard, we are going to go to plugins. So once we go to plugins, we're going to click on add plugins. Then we're going to click on Fluent. So we're going to click on this, click on this. So we're going to refresh the home page, and once we refresh the home page, we are going to come down to this and we're going to start search for Fluent Form. So once we search for Fluent Form, we're going to add it here. So once we add it, we are going to click on our subscription form here. So as you can see, this is it here. So to edit it more, we are going to give it the 300 by left, so 300 here and 300 right. Then at the top, we're going to give it 20. So here, the next thing we are going to do, let's start with the button first. So there are a lot of things you can change and edit. So but we are going to work with the submit button first. For the submit button, we are going to first of all change the background color to our color. Sorry, that's text. The background color to this, then the text to this. So now once we are done with that, the hover, because we need to have an hover effect. So on the hover, we have this as white and the text as black. So we hover and we have this. So now the next thing we need to do is we need to make sure, in as much as this is curved here, we still need to make sure it's, so we're going to come to border radius and we're going to hit 0 to make sure it is actually really not curved. So the next thing is going to be our field. We're going to set up our field. So we check this. I don't think we need to change anything here. Then input area. So background color, I think this should be it. Let's try. Yes, that's it. So background color, if you check our design, we don't really have anything. So as you can see, it's more it's empty. So we are going to select something, then we're going to make it, I don't make it transparent totally. So I just gave it a little bit of opacity there. So you can do that if you want, but okay, let's just do it completely. It's looking awkward. Yeah. So the text, so as you can put the input text, we are going to make it white. So we're going to attempt that exactly. So then on focus, background, nothing, border type, I think I noticed something. Border type, we're going to put it 1. On focus, you see what I think you understand what they mean by that. So let's change this color to green. So if you on focus, you can see that on focus it is green there instead of what it was showing blue before. So we come back to full, and border radius we have to put it 0. So we have this. So for now, this is just basic. If on your own time you can come here to now start changing things, but Our goal is to do exactly what we have here. So now, but our text font typography, we are supposed to use space. We're going to use this. We're going to change it to that. Then that's that. Let's check again if there's anything. Enter your email. Your email. Well, if you want to change the placeholder text, that's the input text. So to make any adjustment to this, you're going to go back to here, and that's on your form on flowing form. This is where you're going to you tap on it and make your adjustment here. So once you make your adjustment there, it would automatically reflect. So let's publish to see what we have. If we come down here, we have a lovely form. So this is how we create this. So the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to make this mobile responsive. So to check if our website is optimized for mobile, we're going to click on this and we're going to inspect. So as you can see, the home page isn't that bad for mobile. I think so. Just few things that we need to adjust, and I think the mobile is ready as rain to get started. Okay, so without wasting much time, let's get into it. So for the first thing, which is the home page, we are going to check if we need anything. So we're going to click on this. It took us to the very bottom. So we can reduce this a little bit. And remember, whatever you do to tablet also affects mobile. So we're going to reduce this. Let's see, should we say 40? No, 40 is too much. Let's just say 55. Okay, yes, 55 is fair, and I think I like 55. So we can have this in mobile. We can also check for it, and I think 55 is a fair option to go with. So as you can see, mobile, the image isn't really showing very well for mobile. We can actually change that by having mobile have a separate you get background image. So by doing that, we are going to create a separate background image here for mobile. So we designed this for mobile responsiveness, so separate from the header. You definitely do that for most of your websites. So we're going to come to background, and we're going to click on separate, choose a different image. So we're going to upload that. So as you can see, it's doing a better job. So remember that there was a spacing at the very top here. So we're going to remove that for mobile. So then we can refresh. So I feel mobile should be as good as new. Yes. So we have mobile as good as new here. So then we can increase it a little bit, like we just did that to mobile. Then we can, let's say, give it 40. So it's going to be a little bit down. So the reason why is I think there's so much space here. I think this looks more like it. So now we are done with that. So the next place we need to look into is this on real this thing. It's very it's very okay. The spacings are very okay. So the next one that's worries is this. So we're going to come down here. Then another thing again is we can look into, we are not only just doing mobile responsiveness, we can also introduce hover effect, meaning this is what I mean. So it's better I show you than explain. So we are going to come down to hands. Then we're going to go to transform, I think. Yes. Then on hover, we're going to come to scale. So on scale, we're going to take it to 1, because if you bring it here, see what it does. So you understand why I am doing that. So then on 1, no, 1 has to, so imagine on hover you have that. Then what we're just going to do is we're going to just copy. Hopefully, let's right click to make it faster. So from here we are just going to select everything. Did we select everything? Right click, then paste style. So as you can see, if I publish, because of his mobile, you can see that. So like this, at least it's responding to our hover effect. So at least it's not just like a static element. So going back to mobile, we're going to stick, because we are more concerned about mobile. So mobile animation. So now on mobile here, this is okay on tab, but on mobile we need to bring this guy to the right, to the left hand side. So I'm trying to see if I can separate. Okay, yes, for mobile we bring it left. As you can see, we can change the position from different angles. So we're going to go back here to see if that is the case. So yes, so we're going to come down to see if there is any other person that we need to shrink. And so I think the next problem is going to be here. So I know why that is a problem. So it's quite easy to fix. We're going to tap on it. It is this thing here that is making it look like that. So for mobile, we're just going to tap that, and I think that has fixed part of the problem. So we're going to check to make sure that is fixed. So now we're having little issues with the whole skewing thing that we did last time. So we are going to click on this area, and we're going to first of all click on the text. So remember this text, this guy here. On mobile, let's see if the adjustment on mobile is different. Yes, it is actually definitely different. So we are going to take it here for mobile. It's supposed to be there. Then the other guy too, I don't know where it is. Okay, it's here. So there too, we are going to, what did we put this? We put it as 73. Let's go back to this text as well, and we are also going to set it as, I might not set it as 73 because, okay, oh, okay, yeah, 73. Okay, yeah. Then we're going to come down here. Good, we have it here. So now, let's take for tablets, because since that's scattered in tablets, oh geez, we would have done it on tablet, because once you do it on one, it affects the other. So we have had this on tablets. So on this as well, I still like as I did this on mobile. Then 92 is fair enough. So same thing, we're going to do this to here, 92. That's very fair enough. Oh, okay. There were some guys that we missed earlier. So this too is missing in this area. So we are going to select these guys, and we are also going to adjust. I think that's very fair. Then we are going to check for mobile. I don't think, okay, mobile too. I think that's very, very fair. What was it before it's refreshed? Oh, it was not even there before. So I don't know how I missed that. Okay. So for mobile, this is here. We need to adjust it down for mobile a little bit. Just a little bit up. Let's keep 100 for mobile. I think this is still very fair enough. We have this. You can adjust it to suit your own style very well. So now the next chaotic place is this. This one we just have to do it in one place. Then it affects mobile itself. Then for these two, I think we need to adjust it to here. Then at the top, we still need to give it 20. So let's see what mobile would look like. Perfect. Nothing as perfect as this. So for mobile, this is everything that we have here, and this is actually very interesting. They really give us much headache because we don't have much pages. So we have done this, and we have, I think we are almost done with this. So we need to check very well for each and every one of these should have 2020 at their edge. No, this doesn't need it, but I think this should. Yes, I think when we did it, everyone had it. You understand why we need it. So once we optimize for, yeah, I think every one of it, yes, we used every one of it that did it. So now the main thing is when we open this. So for mobile, we'd have to come to customizer. We need to do a little bit of so for the header, we would come down to general, then layout. So for this, we don't have any problem, but for, we need to give it at least like 2. Then for mobile, let's see, I think 2 does the job as well. Let me give it 1. I want to check something. 2 does the job. Then let me refresh to see what's okay. So 2 is the go-to. So once we now check our site like this, we can now have an equal spacing at the top. If you notice, there were just some spacing at the top here. So the last thing we need to do, because whenever we load this page, it's always loading in white. So we come to page settings, come to style, page settings, style, background type, then put it in black. So anytime it loads in black, you get, so it does not have that awkward loading white effect. So as you can see, we've been able to do this. So if you want to use this effect on any other place, like this full thing, you can actually do that. You can also do it here if you want. So we've been able to create this. So the next thing is that we are going to work on our footer. So by footer, we're going to click on custom, and we need to first of all set a footer menu. So for footer menu, we would come down to menu, create, and we're going to call this footer. So for footer menu, you can now click on this footer, then click on next and click on add pages. So on our affiliates, we have privacy policy, terms of service. So all these pages you can create and edit them yourself. You don't need this for now, so this can go. Add this sitemap and affiliate transparency. So your footer could be anything. So this is just for based on UI sake, right? So we have this. So if we come down to footer, this is what we have here. You might not see it here. So we're going to be using Elementor to create the footer. So in order to do that, we need to go down to our home page. Then we are going to come down to remember this plugin we installed. So we're going to come to header and footer. So now we're going to create new header. So on your own terms, you can turn everything off. If you don't need anything that these people provide, you can turn them off. You don't need them. So, but we're going to create new. Then we're going to call this footer. And once we call this footer, we're going to come down here to click on footer, then select the entire site. So entire website, any page, anyhow, is going to show all user. Then I don't think there's anything we need to do here. Default template, then click on publish, then click on edit with Elementor. So you may be asking, why didn't I use the default header, or as we use the team's header, we would have used a footer. The problem is the team footer is a little bit limited, so we may not be able to do things. So ideally, we just build it up. But it's not like you can't do things, but a little bit limited anyway. And since we are building everything on Elementor, so we have our container here. So we need to look at our design. So we need two containers. So we've put the mother container inside. Then we have the first container and we duplicate it. Then we click on this and we would do this. So now we're going to give this more space. We'll give more spaces to this. So we're going to call this 25, or I'll just call it 30. Then this will just be what it is. But if it's too small, we are going to adjust that immediately. So now the first thing is the background. We are going to adjust the background. Then we are going to come to styles and we are going to select the themes background. Then we're going to add the site. So you can, let me see if there's an option for site logo for free. So now the site title is coming from that plugin, this header and footer plugin that we installed. This one, it comes with site logo for free. So by Elementor, by default, will give you that for free. So this is it. Then we have our text here. So we are going to come here to change the text color. Then we're going to change it to this. Then we paste. So once we have that, the next thing is we need to add menu. So we have different kinds of menu here. So let's see if this navigation menu is what we want. Good. So this is nice. So automatically it has selected footer. So we can select footer, we can select main menu. So this is actually very cute. So I don't think we actually need to do much again. Let's click on publish, and I don't want to click on the I button, because I click on the I button, it's going to take us to somewhere I don't want us to take it, wherever it is. So we're going to refresh and we're going to come down to the footer, and voila, this is our footer. So we're going to come down here and see, but I think our footer main primary text is a little bit dark, so we are going to make some adjustments. So okay, sorry, this is supposed to be here. So here too, we would need to just give it like 10 so that it will be close in a way. Then this I think the typography, we should give it like, let's say 14. Yeah, reduce it to 14. Then the initial text, we would reduce it to this. I think, sorry, what we have is this one here. Yeah, but I just prefer to just use this. Let's use this. So we have this, and I think this is 14 if I'm not mistaken. That was not 14. Why is how okay, how wasn't that 14? So we can refresh, and we have this. So this is our footer, and if you want it to extend the way we extended it here, we can add another what do they call it, we can rather increase the space. I don't want to increase the space, but I just feel like I can add another container here. Then no, I didn't mean you to be there. Good. So then this, I can call it 10, and I can just do justice to it like this. So you can have something like this, and if we refresh, as you can see, we've pushed it more to this side. So that's one way to go about this. So now you may ask, mobile responsiveness, how does this look? Actually weird that this is, I'm coming, let me check the settings. So now why it had that break thing is, if you come down to the menu here, this menu we added, right, you can come down here and you can see this. So once it broke down to this, it actually turned to a, this is the breakpoint. So breakpoint, so if we click on none, you can see that there is no breakpoint anymore. So this is what we have. Then on this we have, I want to be very sure, that we are on the right, this thing, vertical layout, vertical. So what we can do is we can duplicate, and the reason why I'm duplicating, you understand why. So this one, we're going to click here, and we are going to come down to visibility, responsiveness, and hide on tablets and mobile, right? Then this, we're going to click on this, and we're going to come to settings, and we're going to click on responsiveness, and we're going to hide on desktop. So the reason being is that I want to change the orientation. So let's hide this on both. Yes, so we only have this on, so only also on mobile we only have this. So I hope you're not confused. So let me go back again so that you may not be confused. Let me go back to this. So now the first one, if we click here and we go back to responsiveness, we want to hide this on mobile because we don't want this to show on mobile, right? But it's going to show on desktop and tablet. So if you click on the second one and you click on advanced, you can click on hide desktop, and you can hide it on portrait, meaning it's not going to show on there, it's not going to show on tablets, it's only going to show on mobile. So the reason being is we want to convert this to layout, then we want to convert this to vertical. It's on mobile, it's going to show as vertical. So we're going to see if this works. So we're going to come here, we're going to refresh. On desktop we have this, then if we shrink it, on mobile we have this. You can see that we have this here. So this is how we go about the footer. So in this chapter, we're going to be creating a redirect link for your affiliate product. So take for example, now this is my Hostinger affiliate link, and I don't want it to look like Hostinger, especially when I'm posting it on places like YouTube and the rest. So the first thing I need to do is I would come to WordPress, and I'm going to click on pages. Then I'm going to click on add pages. Then I'm going to call it Hostinger. Then I'm going to click on publish. Make sure that the link is live. Then I'm going to click on view so that I'll be able to copy the link. So now this is the link. So I'm going to go to my Hostinger dashboard. You already know how to access or log into your Hostinger dashboard, or you can just use HPanel, what you are seeing here. So now you're going to go to your website. So now once you get to your hosting, like this, my account now has several websites on it. So I'm just going to the one I need. I'm going to go to dashboard. So you click on dashboard. Once you click on dashboard, go to domains. Then you're going to go to redirect. So now once you come to the redirect, you can see that my domain name is here with the path. So I'm just going to copy this here, this link. So my own comes with a directory and the space. So no matter how many space, if you're maybe a page inside a page inside a page inside a page, it doesn't matter. Probably maybe shop slash whatever the link is. So far there is something after it. So you're going to come here and you're going to place the part. So you're going to, okay, something is missing. Yes. So once I paste this here, then I'm going to come to this. This is my hosting guy. It could be hosting guy, it could be any platform that you are using as an affiliate. Then you're going to come down here. So you're going to paste the link. Then you're going to clean this to make sure it is only starting from this thing. You not add all this HTTP, just this, the name slash whatever thing is added, and you click on create. So once you create, you can see this page that is here. We're going to copy it to know that if it's going to work or not. We're going to open an Ignito tab. So then we're going to paste, then we're going to hit enter. As you can see, it did not go to my website, it went to my hosting landing page. So this is how you redirect any page on your website to another website. So now I can successfully paste this on Google, on YouTube, or anywhere, and it will redirect to my affiliate product. So always, and also please try to promote products that are good to your users. Let's go to the next chapter. How to use WooCommerce to create an affiliate product. So the first thing we need to do is we are going to go to products since you've installed WooCommerce already. Then if you've not created any products, you see something like this. Then we're going to create external products. I'm going to still show you if you've already had an existing product, how to go about that. So we can just let's call this, say you are promoting a mouse from Amazon or Jumia. Then let's say this is the mouse that we are promoting. Let's just use this keyboard. Let's use this keyboard since this keyboard already has wordings. Let's use keyboard, please. Okay, wherever the name is. So once you've written this, for example, now if you made a mistake, it's a good thing. So if you make a mistake, right, you can always come here, copy this, edit link, and replace it. So do this if it's just an instance. If the product is not live, you have to go and change the product wherever you have made that mistake. So now this is primary description. So I'm going to show you what this is. So I'm just going to put here long, so you know what is long, what is short description. Then this is the most important thing. So normally if you click here, you will see simple products, group product, and the rest. So all you just have to do is select external link or affiliate. So say for example, I'm promoting this Amazon product. I'm going to come here. There's the product, and I'll click right here, buy now. So now you have option to put price. So as an affiliate, you don't own the product, right? So you can't put price. So this is the only caveat, and you cannot collect the customer number. So all this person will just do is see this link and click on the buy button. So you don't need to do any other extra thing. Then this short description. So if you have the short description of the products, you can copy all the information about the product, and for example, now you paste. Sorry, I need to, yes, paste it there. Then you can create product category. So product category, if you come to our website and you see this, we all know how to create product category. If you don't, I'm going to link a video on a full e-commerce tutorial that we've made. So you create a product category here, then you can segment it into different categories if it's a category. But for now, it's just under no category. Then I'm just going to select this keyboard. So you can, as much as possible, use the images that are very related to the product. This one is, we are just doing it for an example. So then I'm going to click on publish. So once I click on publish, you can right click this and view it on the website. So now as you can see, now this is the product. And if I click on the buy button, it's going to take me to Amazon site. So if this was your affiliate link, this could be your this could not be your affiliate link, but I'm just using as an example. If this was your affiliate link, the good thing is that you are going to find this here. So now the one of the key questions you might be asking, how do I showcase all my products on my website? Because the good thing with using e-commerce is there is a button for users to click. I know how e-commerce is very dynamic. You can use it everywhere and anywhere. So for example, if I go to store, you can call this store, you can call this product, you can see buy now, you can just send people to all your affiliate products or a particular page when you're talking about a particular product, everything here. So you get, so this is how you can use e-commerce to create an affiliate. So if you want to make this product page that we have here, because this product page is just not going anywhere, so we have to go to our settings. So we'll go to WooCommerce, then we're going to go to settings. Then it's going to, you're going to come down to products. Then we're going to ask for shop page. So this one, we're going to select this page because we created this page specifically for products. We're going to click save. So now when we click on this product, it now takes us to this. So now we can customize this a little bit. So if you come down to WooCommerce here, we can go to product catalog, and you can actually put a background here. So if you come here, you can see that this is our background. If you just want a normal background, maybe a background color or something, you can keep the background color. So I have title background. We can use image. So take for example, now we are using an image. Let's say an image of this product here. We can use this. And if you want to, then the text color, you can come here and you can change it to white. As you can see, it's already showing products. So we have our products here. Then if you want to still do some little change, as you can see, it's looking like it's, duplicating itself. So we can come here and say no repeat and just choose cover. So as you can see, cover covers it everywhere. So that is how we can use this to create our product page. Then you can have other products that you have uploaded, even SaaS. It could be SaaS, it could be anything, any product could be here, right? So another thing that could happen is side background. We can actually use this. So if we want to use this, but we just have to leave it to this. So we can use our favorite color, whichever one we want to use. So we can change anything that we want to change. So, but for now, this is how we want it to be. And as we said, the main thing is you can have all your products here, and you can, redirect them to it by clicking it here, and they can buy direct. So you can do all product explanation. So this is the long description. So if you come here, when I was saying long description on your products, if you click on edit, and this area is for long description. The funny thing is you don't have to do anything here so you can add reviews like manually. So comments and everything, you can add reviews if you want to add reviews manually to it. So this is how you can use e-commerce. Let's go to the next chapter. How to use blog to promote your affiliate product. So the first thing is, if you notice on our website, we already have a review page. So you can call it a blog, you can call it a review page, and this place you can send people to that blog page. So now the very first thing is, when we go to our review page, we can see it is empty and there is an hello world thingy here. So we're going to come down to our desktop dashboard, and we are going to, now before you create a post, you create categories. So depending on what you want to do, the last chapter before this is we created categories that's related to all these tech. So it depends on the product that you are selling. So you can also come here, create categories, so that whenever you're creating your product, you can put it on a particular category. So now let's say we come down here and we are creating a category for AI. I'm just going to create it. I'm going to create it here. As you can see, I have my AI. So I'm going to come down here. Then I'm going to delete this because we don't need this one. Then I'm going to click on a product, add post. So now you can name your post. So take for example, now we are actually creating a real information about, because people would want to know about flow, right? And instead of just going to the flow website directly, you can actually talk about, so you can design this with WordPress default builder, or we use Elementor. So since this tutorial is about Elementor, so you click and publish, then you're going to click on Elementor here. But before we click on Elementor, we need to set a feature image. Very important. So this is the flow that we're talking about. We select it, we click on save, and we come to Elementor. So now it has opened the page for us, and we can start writing our blog here. As usual, we can use our blocks to put here, and we can start writing. So you click on this and you can start putting your articles. So depending on what you have. So I may not have time to write this. So I'm just going to copy this from Laura Ipsum, right? So talking about, let's say we are talking, this is talking about Google Flow. So you have this, let's just say, what is Google? So this is going to talk about what is Google Flow. Then you can also add a maybe a picture or something, or if you want immediately, so if you want people to immediately maybe buy it without going to down on the page, you can paste the button here. That's okay, get Google Flow. Then before you now start adding other things, like let's just say we can just add image. Let's just say this is our image box. I'll just add a few clips of, let's just say this is clips from Google Flow. So as you can see, this page can talk about Google Flow and everything about Google Flow, right? And you can put the button. It all depends on your design and depends on what you are talking about. So once you are done, you click on publish and you can click on the I button. So as you can see, you are seeing this here, but it's not cute as it is. It's not cute at all. So what we can do is we can click on this, customize. So there are two things for us that we can customize. So once we come to page, we come to archive. So archive is actually okay. Before we go to archive, let's do single post. So for single post, you can show title, then we can leave all these things. So all these things are everything that you are seeing here, right? By category and everything. Then if you come down here, default post, I usually like the way this is here. Then you can say in content. So if you want this to float, you can float it there. So if you want vertical padding to be enabled, you enable it there. But let's start with feature, because this featured image is one of the main thing. So featured image, we can turn off featured image if you don't want it. So when a user comes in, he just sees this, so he doesn't see that big thing. But if you want the featured image, you can enable it and probably adjust it to the best. So you can see it's here, you can see it above, you can see it behind, you get, and this is going to change the settings as you want it to. So but for me, for now, for this, I'm just going to remove it because I just want them, because since it's a page and there is no time, people have short-term span. There's going to say vertical spacing. I'm going to disable it for now. So as you can see, once someone just drop in this page, you get to see what it's about, what's Google Flow is about. Then you can get Google Flow. And if there are images and other things talking about it, so if there are comments or anything, so these comments, for the meantime, I would advise you disable it or only make it for people that have signed in, because there are a lot of spam that would come in from here. But for the good thing, you have your blog page and you can send people to here and they can read about it. Lots of images you can add. So if you come down to review, you can see that this is your review page and this is it. So we are going to work on this a little bit because it's a little bit not cute. So we come down here and we can have this. So take for example, now we come down to design and the background. We still do that like the way we did it to e-commerce, and we select an image this time around. Let's use something different. Then we just say cover, right? Then the text, we put it white. So this is reviews. So then we can work on it. So we can come down here and see what is making this look. I think one of the things that's making this look weird is this button, like this information. So we are going to come down here. So as you can see, if you come down to post item layouts, you can reduce the number of items it shows, right? So if you just want to show, or if you don't want it to show at all, you can actually turn it off and you can just have this. This is it here. Then the title as well, you can have your read more button or whatever button you want to label it as. To edit this button, maybe to make it align very well, we can come down to title. Then let's just give it 20. I think this looks much better. Then so now you can click on publish and everything is going to be the way it is. Now you can send user to your general review page where you have all your reviews, or you can have it embedded on your homepage where they can add link to this and they can get to see it directly on your review page instead of sending them to this page. So it all depends. This is all depending on what you want to do, and the world is your oyster. So